Gentlemen, welcome to JC Sports Replays. My name is Joe, and we are here on Saturday night to relax and play some Saturday night baseball with you, our loyal Strat-O-Matic sports fans. Tonight, in our first game, there may be several, and we may just stream right on through. It's going to be the Kansas City Royals at the New York Yankees on opening day, April 8th, 1986. It's a Tuesday day game in Yankee Stadium. We have to determine the weather for New York today. So it's a day game in April. It means we're rolling in this column. How about a 13? That's going to be average weather. So 214 and 1411. No. The doggies are excited about something happening outside, so I apologize. Midgie, down. Come on. Come on down, Midgie. Take a chill pill, girl. Take a chill pill, Midgie. I don't know where to put this right now. Put it here. So we're a little early in our process here. We've rolled the weather. I have not yet sorted the cards. So being this is the first game played with our Royals and Yankees, we have to do some sorting to get the lineup set. Of course, we're using as-played score sheets from Ron Burnier's Ronbo Baseball Sim Materials website. Steve Farr, there we go. It's a pretty simple process to get the team set up. First thing I like to do is see who the pitchers are. I need Black, Liebrandt, Saberhagen, and Gubiza, and Leonard. So here's Black, Liebrandt, Saberhagen, Gubiza, a sports time machine, waiting for the great Yankees theme song. I don't remember it 100%. It's been a long time since we've watched the Yankees on WPIX. So Black will be the starter for the Royals tonight. And let's get in a lineup set for them. I have Lonnie Smith. I don't know why Danny Jackson's hanging out there. He'll be a spot starter for now, I guess. Lonnie Smith, we need Willie Wilson. We need George Brett. We need Hal McRae. He's over here. Frank White. Steve Bye-Bye Balboni. Darryl Motley. Wow. It's a name I've not heard in many a moon. Jim Sundberg. And Angel Salazar. So we can get these guys in order for the bench. Jorge Orta will be on the bench as part of that platoon with McRae. All right, so there is. We'll go through this together as we set it. So Black is the starter. As I mentioned, these guys are in the minors or just not available for today's game, however you want to look at it. Here's your relief squad. So Bud Black, the starter today for Kansas City in their opener. 5-10, a 3.20 ERA. He only had 4 starts, 9 saves, so he spent most of the year as a reliever. 100 hits in 121 innings, 43 walks, 68 strikeouts, and 14 homers. So what we care about is Black is a 3E0 with a 4 fatigue rating. Well, that tells us a lot about why he didn't remain a starter for very long. He must not have been very successful. Leading off for the Royals, Lonnie Smith, he plays a left field. He's a 4+2 E13. Willie Wilson will play center. He's a 2 + 1 E3. George Brett, batting third and playing third, a third base 2 E23. Al McRae, the designated hitter, batting fourth. Frank White, a second baseman, 1 E11. So one of the interesting things about Kansas City is they were way ahead of the time in terms of full-time DHs. Even though they platooned McRae and Orta, these guys are not eligible to play defensively at all. They're not carded for any position. So Frank White, the fifth batter, playing second, 1 E11. Balboni plays first and bats sixth, a 4 E22. What has now become a lot more commonplace to have a full-time DH. Darryl Motley, a right field 3-0-E6, bats seventh. Jim Sundberg bats eighth. He's a catcher 2, -1, E1, T4, P5. And Angel Salazar is a shortstop 3-E16. So that's the Kansas City setup. Dick Hauser will lead the Royals. They are coming off a first-place finish in the American League West, a 91-71 record in 1985. Now let's see how the Yankees begin their season. Rasmussen, but he will not be starting today. He's actually the fifth designated starter for the Yanks at the beginning of the season. Woodson is the second starter. I need Negro, Tewksbury, and Guidry, none of which are in the bullpen. And Griffey starting the game on the Yankees. Starting the season on the Yankees, I should say. Guidry, Whitson, Joe Negro, Tewksbury, and Rasmussen are the rotation to start the season for the Yanks. Doug Drabek will be at the back of the bullpen along with Scott Nielsen. In our lineup, we're going to need Henderson, Randolph, Mattingly, Winfield, Renicky, Cotto, Dale Berra, Yogi's offspring, Butch Weiniger, and Bobby Meacham. So actually, considering who the Yanks have carded, that's a pretty weak lineup. Let's get these guys in order. Hassey not yet in the game. Pagliarulo not yet playing. Shortstop. We got Pasqua and Griffey on the bench, along with Easler. So some of the best Yankee bats will start the season on the bench here. Guidry will be our opening day starter here at Yankee Stadium. Opening day was WPX game, and by that time Frank Messer got hosed out of his job. Royals are your defending world champions, beat the Cardinals in 7. Infamous Don Deckinger call at first base. I vaguely recall this. I was having my seasons confused. I don't know why I thought the Cardinals faced somebody else, but yeah, 85 was the Royals' year, wasn't it? So opening up at Yankee Stadium. That'll be fun. Here's Guidry. By the way, Ron in 85. The beginning of his decline, really. 9-12 with 3.98. 30 starts. 192 innings, 202 hits. 38 walks and 140 Ks. 28 homers in those 30 starts. In super advanced play, he is a 1E8 with a 7 fatigue rating. Louisiana Lightning. Leading off for the Yanks will be the all-time great leadoff hitter, Ricky Henderson. He's a center fielder, 1 with a +2 arm, E7. Willie Randolph, a second base 2, E24, bats second. Donald Arthur Mattingly, a first base 1, E6, bats third. Dave Winfield, the right field 1, -4, good arm for Winfield, E6, bats cleanup. Gary Renicky, a left field 2, -1, E2, will bat fifth. Actually, Renick's the DH, pardon me. Henry Cotto will play left. He's a 2, -1 E5. So some sound outfielders for the Yankees today. Here's Dale Berry. He's a third base 4 E25. The Yanks had high hopes for the descendant of the great Yogi. Things didn't really pan out for Dale in his career. Pardon me. Had some, what am I thinking of? Penny a la vodka for dinner. And it's left me a little bit phlegmy. So Butch Weniger is the catcher. He bats 8th. He's a 4-0 E3 T3 P4. Paired with a nice Malbec. Alamos was about the best $10 bottle of wine you can get, in my opinion. Bobby Meacham, shortstop for E38. He will bat 9th. Those are your lineups today. As we begin the season in Yankee Stadium, this is a day game. It's average weather. So lefties will homer on 1-14 on Ballpark, and righties will be 1-11. Lefties will single on a 1-2, and righties 1-14. It's kind of weird. Lefties have a hard time supporting a batting average at Yankee Stadium. Let me clear the palate here with a little water. Meanwhile, JC Sports Replay's wife, Megan, has finally finished all of the available content in Power Watch Simulator and is now playing something called Thrillville, which looks really weird. We've got a daytime crowd here on a Tuesday of 55,602, a sellout crowd at Yankee Stadium. Lou Piniella will lead the Yanks, who finished second in the American League East, behind the Toronto Blue Jays. They came in at 97-64, so a 97-win season, no playoffs. So sometimes, folks, I like the deeper playoffs. Wild card and all. The home plate umpire for today's game is Rich Garcia. He'll be aided by Greg Kosk at first base, Rick Reed at second, and Dale Ford at third. Didn't mean to... No, please be my backseat color guy. I don't mind at all. You can tell Yankee manager platooned against the lefty Black with that great lefty hitters lurking on their bench. You're exactly right, sir. So we've got 2 left-handed pitchers starting today on opening day in Yankee Stadium, which makes sense. You want to keep those lefty bats on the bench if you can. So let's get these this table set up as Guidry takes his warm-up tosses. So Lonnie Smith will come to the plate to lead things off for Kansas City, a right-handed batter. He settles into the box and waits for the first pitch from Guidry. That's going to be a 2-6 against the lefty. Base on balls, not a good start for Guidry. Lonnie Smith walks. We need the holds, folks. I forgot about that. Guidry, not great. He's a +2, and Weniger a 0. So the hold for Kansas City will be 0 -2. Meanwhile, Black, a -1. He'll be working with Sundberg, a -1. So that's a -2. Which means the Yankees will be held a little bit better, -4, -6. So Smith is an 18 first success rating. A 4-6 gets him a good lead, and he's certainly going to try. A 9 does not. So Smith is held closely at first, and Willie Wilson comes up to bat. Willie, a solid hitter with good speed. Really good speed at the top of this Kansas City lineup. And Guidry with the pitch to Wilson. How about a 4-7? Wilson batting right. A single to center. That could be trouble. Smith is around second. He's got very good speed, a 1-17. He was being held, so that's a 1-16. And Henderson's arm is a +2, 1-18. Smith will go for a third. No throw. They'll hold Wilson at first. So first and third now, and nobody out against Guidry. And George Brett to the plate. Wilson perhaps going to try to get to second. He will be a 4-6 for a good lead. He does not achieve a good lead, so it'll be first and third for Brett. And please, anybody, feel free to comment on anything you want at any time. Just keep it friendly. You know the rules. No politics, no religion, and no berating or bullying anybody. So Brett batting left, playing third today and batting third. Guidry sets, and Brett waits for the pitch. How about a 2-10? That's a base on ball, so load him up, so nobody out. And Guidry's off to a rocky start. The bases are loaded for Kansas City here in Yankee Stadium, and Hal McRae will come to the plate, batting right. McRae, a very solid hitter, also on the decline. Age gets you in the end, doesn't it? But he's batting cleanup here on opening day against the lefty Guidry.
Oh, poopy.
Oh, poopy, says Babe. Unrelated to the game. 5-10. Ground ball, shortstop X. That's going to be a chance for Meacham. He's a, let's see, not responsible for holding the runner, a 4E38. Oh, nobody's being held. This base is loaded. How about a 10-13 on the 4E38 for Meacham? 10 on a 4 is a G3. And 13 on a 38 is an E1. So Meacham tries to field it, can't handle it, and by the time he picks it up, Smith has scored. Everybody's safe. On the E6. Give Meacham an error. No RBI, but the Kansas City Royals lead 1-0. Nobody out here in the top of the first, and the bases are still loaded as the gap power hitter Frank White comes up. 22 homers for White in 86, if I remember correctly. Correct. With a 272 batting average, he drove an 84, and he could get 3 right here in a hurry. So White waits. Bases full of Royals, and it's a 4-7 right-hander. Single to center. No asterisks. We might have a 2-run single here. Let's see. Wilson scores. Brett's around third. McRae around second. Brett, of course, a 1-14. Not being held makes him a 1-15, and that's a 1-17 with Henderson's arm. So Brett will score, no throw. And that's 2 runs on the White single. McRae will hold at second as the throw comes in. And it's quickly 3-0 Mets. 3-0 Royals, still nobody out. We want Derek Sanderson Jeter. That's a little early. Have to wait about another decade. Well, here's Balboni, first and second, nobody out for the one-time Yankee slugger. Balboni still has power, 29 homers in 86. Let's see if I'm right about that. I am. My memory doth not fail me from the age of 13. So first and second, nobody down. Guidry to deal to Balboni. Not happy with the way his outing is starting here in 86, and it's a 2-7 right-hander. Ground ball second base X, that'll be Randolph. A 2E24. He's not holding anybody. How about a 15-3? Wow, we rolled a 3. 15 on a 2 is a G1. And a 3 on an E24 is nothing. So that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. White will be retired, and McRae gets over to third. So that's just what Guidry needed here. 2 quick outs. McRae at third now, and Darryl Motley coming up. Couldn't tell you Motley's stats. I don't think he played enough for me to remember. Let's take a look. 7 homers, a 203 batting average. Yep, when I was 13, I probably never played him. A 241 on base to go with a 350 slugging, but Motley's got an RBI chance here. Royals already with 3 in. And he waits from the right side for the pitch from Guidry. How about a 1-8 against the left-hander? A line drive right at the third baseman Barrow, who makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But Guidry gives up 3 in the first, and the Yanks are coming up trailing. It'll be Henderson, Randolph, and Mattingly against the lefty, Bud Black. So here's Ricky Henderson. We all know about him. 28 homers, one of his best power years. I think it was his best power year, actually. To go with a very good on-base percentage and, 80 steals? 87 steals. Yep. 263. Black is set. He's warmed up, and Henderson waits from the right side. We've got a jumper. How about a 5-3 against the right-hander? Fly ball out toward right. Going back is Motley. He's a 3E6. Wifey providing sound effects. It's a 10-13 on a 3E6 F2. What did I say? 13 on an E6. Motley will make the catch to retire Henderson for the first out of the inning. Bring up Willie Randolph of the 396 on base percentage. Randolph, solid all around, a better hitter than he gets credit for. He hit over 300 a couple of times, and it's 4-10 to the righty Randolph. Indeed, it's a ballpark single, babe. Oh, you fuck. 1-14 chance for the righty Randolph. At 11, that's a base hit for Willie. He goes the opposite way, and he's on with a one-out single. Willie's a 19. He'll be a -4. That's good enough to give him a shot. He needs just a 5. No good lead for Randolph. A selective base stealer. And here's Don Mattingly with his first at-bat of 86, coming off a MVP season in 1985. Mattingly hit 343 with a lot of homers and a lot of RBIs and an awful lot of doubles. The best all-around player in baseball in 84, 85, 86, as voted by his peers. Donnie will settle in from the left side. In 86, he's expected to hit about 356 with 31 homers and 56 two-baggers. Lots of power for Mattingly. In a season when Jesse Barfield hit the most homers with 40 in the American League, and Mike Schmidt hit 37 in the National League, so only 140 homer guy this year. The 80s were known for their mix of power and speed, though. Not a lot of 40 homer guys in the 80s, and I don't recall if anybody hit 50, but I don't think so. I think maybe McGuire was the closest with 49. So Mattingly settles in. Randolph on first being held. Black with the pitch. That's a possible wild pitch. 1-3 will be a wild pitch. It's not. So we re-roll to Mattingly. How about a 5-9 against the left-hander? Ground ball shortstop X. Salazar's a 3E16. Randolph being held, he is. So Salazar will be a 4E16 thanks to the hold. How about a 6-12? A 6 on the 4 is a single one. Mattingly's going to have a base hit. And an E6 to a 12. Nothing doing. So Mattingly has a single. Salazar knocks it down, picks it up, has no play. Randolph to second in time. By the time Salazar handles it, he has to eat it. So first and second for New York, and Dave Winfield comes up. Winfield, of course, the eventual Hall of Famer. Could have been a basketball player as well, or a football player, but he chose baseball, and that seemed to have worked out pretty well for him. Winfield in the midst of a 10-year, $10 million contract with the Yankees. And you can hear the train in the distant background if my microphone is sensitive enough. Looks like we've got a little bit of a lilt to everything. I'm just going to straighten that up a little. See how that looks. Give me a sec. Doo-be-doo. There, well, it was the table. Bring it back a little. Well, Winfield waits from the right side for the pitch from the lefty Black. First and second, one out. How about a 1-6 against the left-hander? Base on balls for Winfield. And both teams now have loaded the bases in the first. The Yanks with Randolph, Mattingly, and Winfield clogging up the bags, and Gary Renicky coming to the plate. Gary, a serviceable hitter with occasional power. They have high hopes for him designating hitting here on opening day. The righty batting against the lefty, Black. How about a 4-9 against the righty? Normal home run 1-14. He does have normal power against lefties, or a double, so this one is hit deep to left field. Lonnie Smith going back on it. Will he have a play? No, forget about it. Am I correct? Let me just double check. What did I say? 4-9. Yep, that is gone. Over Smith's head and over the wall. A grand slam home run here in his first at bat of the season for Gary Renicky, and it looks like Lou Piniella knew what he was doing today, folks. The Yanks go down by 3, and Gary Renicky's grand slam makes it a 4-3 Yankee lead here in the first. Look out. Jeter, who? We needed Renicky. Piniella claps, gives him a tap on the back. It's Renicky. Heads into the dugout to sit down and admire his work. And it'll be Henry Cotto coming to the plate for the Yanks. The left fielder bats right. Yanks have high hopes for Cotto. History tells us that his athleticism will not translate into an amazing baseball career. Cotto bats from the right side. Black ready. 1 down here. Nobody on. A 6-6 against the righty and a fly ball to center. Willie Wilson will be there and makes the catch to retire Cotto for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Dale Berra. Berra playing third today and bats from the right side. 2 down, 4 runs in. Berra waits. Black with the windup and the pitch. It's a 2-7 against the left-hander. Single 1-8, line out to second. It's line toward Frank White. He's ranging and makes... Nope, it's over his head, just off the tip of his glove. And Berra, by the time White recovers, Berra is safe at first. Just beats the throw. An infield hit for Berra. Does he have any speed? I don't even know. He never stole a base in his life. At least not this year. So Berra on first, 2 down, and Butch Weiniger, the switch-hitting catcher, comes up. Weiniger will bat from the right side. With that Gary Renicky home run, hey, Gary, this bourbon shot's for you. I wish we had some. But we're taking it easy. Drinking a little bit of water before we have a nice cup of tea in a little while. We've had 2 glasses of wine and we're very relaxed. Also, don't tell anybody, we had an edible earlier, which is why I ended up not broadcasting this afternoon. I got super relaxed and kind of sleepy. So Berra on first, 2 down, and here's Weiniger. About a 3-7. Grounded down to short. That's an A+, but that only matters when the infield in, as I have been so kindly informed by my helpful viewers. So Salazar will make the play and retire Weiniger for the final out of the inning. But the Renicky grand slam homer puts the Yanks on the board and in the lead, 4-3, as we head to the second. A lot of action early. Neither Guidry nor Black looking particularly sharp here on the opener. The Royals will send up Sundberg and Salazar, followed by Smith. Jimmy Sundberg, the catcher today, he's got decent power. Doesn't really hit for average. He's a very good defensive catcher, however. Guidry looks in for the sign. He likes what Weiniger's flashing, and into the windup, it's a 2-7 to Sundberg against the left-hander. That's another base on ball, so Guidry just missing today. His control is not exactly pinpoint. Sundberg will be held on. He's at 13. Is it worth trying to get a good lead? Gets a lead on a 3 and caught on a 12. Yeah, what the heck? He probably won't get a lead, but he won't get caught very often either. So Sundberg does not get a lead, and here's Salazar. Salazar, a right-handed shortstop. Guidry with the pitch. It's a 1-12. Line drive to third base. Looks like it's going to be past him, but no, Berra reaches out, makes a snag. Sundberg too far off first. Berra fires to first, and that's a double play. Great play by Berra. Really bad base running by Sundberg. And quickly there are 2 down on a line-out double play. He was way too far off first. I guess he thought it was going to be past Berra, but Berra made a nice play and recovered quick enough to fire across and get Sundberg before he returned to the bag. So 2 down here, and it's Lonnie Smith. Smith led off the game with a walk, came around to score on the Hal McRae, E6. Nobody on. Smith waits. Guidry, the delivery, a 2-something. Where'd that die go? There it is. 2-10. It's the lefty. Hit by pitch. Boy, Ron's all over the place today. And Smith benefits. He crouched down to first. He doesn't mind. Now he gets to try to steal a base. So he needs a 4-6 for a good lead. The dice are jumping. That's a 3. Smith has the lead. He'll be a 1-18 to steal. And he's in there in plenty of time, but Weiniger might be wild at T3. Nope. Randolph leaps and brings it down. Tries to apply the tag, but Smith is in ahead. And he's got his first stolen base of the season. They're going to hold him at second. He's a threat to steal third, even with 2 outs. And here's Willie Wilson. Wilson singled and scored. A 2-12 from the lefty. A single 1-13 or a line out to short. A line drive toward the shortstop, Meacham. And he makes the catch. A little leaping catch for Bobby Meacham, and that'll retire the side. So 1 left. No runs for Kansas City in the second. And we head to the third. We head to the bottom of the second. The Yankees are going to bat. They're not going to just give it up. It'll be the number 9 hitter Meacham, followed by the top of the order, Henderson and Randolph. This Yankee team has high hopes this year, folks, coming off that second-place finish. They feel like they've gotten better, and if things fall the right way, they can compete for that pennant. But the American League East is probably the toughest division in baseball, so stay tuned. We'll see how it turns out over the next several years of this replay. Bobby Meacham batting right, switch hitter. Another guy the Yanks had high hopes for. 5'11", fly ball out toward left. Lonnie Smith is a 4E13, so Lonnie, despite his speed, not great range out there, and not really a great glove. It's a 2011 F3, and he makes a liar of me because Smith makes the play, retires Meacham for the first out of the inning. 7 straight up. That'll bring up Henderson. Ricky flew out to right his first time up, 0 for 1. Black with the pitch, a 5-6 to the right-hander. He pops it up on the infield. Brett calls everybody off in fair territory and makes the play. Retires Henderson for the second out. That brings up Willie. Willie is 1 for 1, scored a run on that Renicky grand slam. 2 down here. Black delivers. It's a 5-8 against the right-hander. Liner to second base, and Frank White barely has to move to retire Randolph for the third out of the inning. So 1-2-3 for Black in the second. Nice recovery, but he still trails by a run. The Yanks lead 4-3 as we head to the third. Guidry back on the mound. He will face Brett, McRae, and White. Here's Brett. Walked and scored a run. He waits from the left side for the pitch from the lefty. 4-7, single 1-14, or a grounder down to Mattingly. It's a ground ball down the first base line. Mattingly fields it, and he'll take it himself. Steps on the bag ahead of Brett and gets him by a step and a half. 1 away. Here's McRae, reached on an error and was stranded back in the first. Guidry trying to settle down here. A 2-4. Ground ball down to third. Berra is there. He fires to Mattingly, and there's 2 down. Here's White. He singled and drove in a pair in the first inning. Frank waits from the right side. Guidry delivers a 6-10. Grounded to short. Meacham is there. Over to Mattingly, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Louisiana Lightning. And he settled down nicely. Just want to note his hit by pitch for when I do the scoring after the game. So the Yanks coming up with the heart of the order, Mattingly, Winfield, and Renicky coming up against Black here in the third. Mattingly 1 for 1, a run scored so far. The pitch from Black is a 6-6 and strikes out Mattingly. That's not easy to do, folks. Donnie was chasing there, don't know why. He must have been fooled looking for something else. So 1 down quickly. And here's Winfield, who walked and scored a run. 6-3 against the righty. Winfield grounded back to Black. He's a 3E0. Pick those dice up, sir. 3E0. How about a 13-12? 13 on a 3 is G2. And no error on an E0 ever. Pardon me. So Black makes the pick, tosses it over to Balboni at first, and Winfield's retired for the second out. And here's Gary Renicky, a big grand slam homer in the first to put the Yanks on top. Batting for the second time here in the third. Renicky waits. It's a 5-9. Grounded to short. Salazar 3E16. Testing the defense right now. That 2's not promising. A 2-12 against a 3E16. Single for Renicky. And a 12 on an E16. Nothing. So a base hit for Renicky. He pulls it past the shortstop. And stops at first. As Smith gets the ball back in quickly. Renicky at 13. He'd be at a 9 if he got a good lead, so he's not going anywhere. And here's Henry Cotto. Cotto flew out to center his first time up. About a 4-7. Grounded down to third. Brett's there, and will pick it and fire to first to retire the side. So the Yanks get one hit, strand one, and have a one-run lead as we head to the fourth. Guidry comes out to face Balboni, Motley, and Sundberg. Balboni grounded into a double play his first time up. 0 for 1 today. A 6-5 against the righty Balboni. Normal home run 1-14 or a double. Hit deep to left field. Going back under this Cotto. This one is high. It is far. It is out of the park for a home run. Game-tying home run for former Yankee Steve Balboni. Former Yankee or future Yankee? I'm not actually sure. I think he was a Yankee in 85. So Balboni ties the game. Guidry disgusted with himself. And Darryl Motley comes to the plate. He lined out to third his first time up. 6-11. That's a ballpark homer. Uh-oh. For righty Motley, that's going to be a 1-11. He has the power against the lefties. And that's gone. Darryl Motley with a home run, back-to-back with Balboni. And the Royals have retaken the lead here on opening day in Yankee Stadium. They now lead 5-4, and Guidry is not sharp. He'll face Sundberg with nobody out. Sundberg walked and was retired back in the second. Guidry a 1-2. Line drive to third. And Berra is there. He'll retire. Sundberg took a step to his left and made the catch. 1 away. Brings up Salazar. Salazar grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Guidry delivers a 4-6 to the righty Salazar. That's going to be a base hit. Is it going to get down in the gap? No. It's going to be cut off by Henderson. But Salazar's on with a base hit. And he's got a decent steal chance. He needs a 6 for a good lead. He gets a 6, so he'll be a 1-13. And gunned down by Weiniger, he catches Salazar, the caught stealing for the second out of the inning. Heck of a throw by Weiniger. On a low pitch by Guidry. He must have known Salazar was going. He probably saw him out of the corner of his eye, stretching that lead just a little too far. Either that or he knows that I like to run on a 1-13 or better most of the time. Weiniger might be cheating. He might be metagaming, but we don't know. So there's 2 down, 2 runs are in. The Royals have a 1-run lead, and it's the top of the order, Lonnie Smith, who has been on 2 times with a walk and a hit by pitch. He stole a base and scored a run. Smith, the righty, waits for delivery from Guidry. 5-4, fly ball out towards center. Henderson's a 1E7. And let's see how that turns out for him. An 11-13. It's going to be an F2.
What the frig?
Nothing doing. What the frig indeed is Henderson makes the catch to retire Smith and the side, but the Royals pick up 2 big runs here in the fourth. And we've got a close one, folks. It's 5-4 Kansas City as we head to the bottom of the half of the 4th inning. As soon as I stutter a little bit, I know I need a sip of water. Hope you guys had a nice Saturday. I did. I worked this morning and watched Jeffrey Guterman on his live stream for a little bit. He had a pretty good game going. Watched a couple of other YouTubers in the afternoon intermittently for a few minutes here and a few minutes there. Took a nice nap. Went out to dinner with the wife at a nice Italian little place, a little casual joint with good food and a good bottle of wine. And now I get to play some Strat-O-Matic with you folks. That's a pretty good Saturday in my book. Well, the Yankees would like to have a good Saturday. They trail by 1. Neither pitcher is sharp, and they have the bottom of the order up in Berra, Weiniger, and Meacham. Here's Dale Berra. He's 1 for 1 so far today. That dice is trying to get away. Get back in there. Black with the pitch. A 1-5. Double 1 to 15 single. Otherwise, hit down toward the left field gap. It's going to get through. Willie Wilson eventually chases it down, but by the time he throws it in, Berra has himself a 2-base hit. So Berra with a good opening day so far, a single and a double, 2 for 2. And that'll bring up the catcher, Weiniger. Butch grounded out his first time up. And Sports Time Machine says it's Weiniger's turn. He doesn't, actually. He didn't say anything, but I say it's Weiniger's turn. Actually, I only have top chat on. I need to turn the chat over to live chat to make sure I don't miss anything. There we go. That's better. So Weiniger waits, batting righty against the lefty Black. Both dice jumped. How about a 3-8? And that's a base on balls. First base was open. And Black consoles himself by saying he meant to set up the double play. That'll bring up Bobby Meacham. 2 men on. Meacham will be looking a bunt, as far as I'm concerned. He'll be a B. Nobody's held. So Black delivers. Meacham with the B bunting ability. How about a 4-9 on a B? A 4 indicates that the first baseman will field it, and a 9 on a B indicates a successful sacrifice. So a sacrifice hit for Meacham. Balboni fields it, flips to Black, but the runners move up. It's now second and third, 1 out, and Ricky Henderson to the plate. So Henderson settles in. He's 0 for 2. He's flown out to right and lined out to third. Well, I think it was a pop out, but it's a line drive in the box score. Box score would be interesting if the mushrooms could tell us the time and how the game went. That's a whole nother conversation, though, guys. Never done any mushrooms myself. Don't even like to eat them, really. How about a 1-6 against Henderson? That's a base on balls to load the bases. Ricky. Very patient there on a close pitch, but he's known for that. He walks a lot. And now it's the bases loaded again for the second time this game for the Yanks, and Willie Randolph comes to the plate. Randolph 1 for 2, scored a run. Big at bat for the Yanks and Randolph here with 1 down and the bases full of pinstripes. Black. Is he in his 4th? He's actually fatigued. I didn't realize. Neither did Dick Hauser, but he does now. That's a 3-9 against the lefty. A fly ball right field B question mark. Well, Berra. What's the B question mark rule? I forget. Let's take a quick look. Come here. That's not it. Where'd my rule book go? Where did my rule book go? Oh, it's right here. I rearranged slightly before the game, and I lost track of where I put it. So, the runner on third, A +2. Running speed outfielders on +2. So, Berra is on third, right? Berra is on third, yes. He's 1 to 11. +2 makes him a 1 to 13, and the right fielder's arm is a 0. He's going to try to tag. Motley is going to fire home. Berra is in there with the tying run. Weiniger moves up. Henderson retreats to first, and that's a sac fly for Randolph, and the game is all tied at 5 now. First and third, 2 outs. Henderson being held at first. Mattingly to the plate. Hard to keep Ricky in place here. He's jumping around like crazy, driving Black nuts. But it's going to be a little patient with Mattingly up. Mattingly, by far the Yankees' best hitter. Very possibly the best all-around hitter in the league. I don't think it depends on who you ask, folks. I think it depends on if you're a Yankee fan or not. So first and third, 2 down. Mattingly, 1 for 2 so far today with a run scored. Black, still tired. A 4-11 against the lefty. That could be trouble, folks. That's a ballpark homer for a lefty in Yankee Stadium. That's going to be a 1-14 home run. This one is gone. A 3-run homer, and that's definitely going to be it for Black here in the 4th. An early exit as Mattingly makes it an 8-5 game. Fatigue didn't come into play. It didn't matter. Mattingly caught all of that one. His first homer of the season, and Donnie Baseball rounds the bases as Black heads for the showers. The Yanks now lead 8-5, and this one's a slugfest. We're only in the 4th, folks. You can see why Black's going to head to the bullpen soon. And they will need somebody to come in here. It's Black goes 3 2/3. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4. Babe finds it funny. 5, 6, 7 hits. How many homers? 2, I think. That's funny too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs in 3 2/3. I think they're all earned. They are. Yikes. It's going to be about a 20 ERA. One walk, 1 strikeout. 3 walks and 1 strikeout for Black. Not a good day here on opening day. And I'd like to tell you that in a lot of situations, you'd go to the mop-up guy here, but it's pretty early. Although, according to my tired brain, it's not early. I'm yawning like crazy, folks. But Danny Jackson, of all people, is going to be the relief pitcher. Jackson, a 4-16 with a 3 fatigue from relief. And they'll try to get some length out of Jackson. He's the long reliever in this situation. So the Yanks now lead 8-5. It's Winfield coming up. He's walked and scored a run and grounded out. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. It's been a slugfest already. Another lefty is Jackson. It's a 1-9. Grounded to short. Going to be no problem for Salazar. He fires to Balboni, and that's the inning. But the Yanks pick up 4 more and lead 8-5 as we head to the 5th. Guidry, happy to have a lead despite giving up 5 runs. He has to settle down and keep his team ahead if he wants to win this one. Willie Wilson going to lead off for Kansas City. Wilson 1 for 2 so far, a run scored. Very, very fast player. His speed is his greatest asset. It's a 4-8 Wilson batting right. And he strikes him out. The first strikeout of the day for Guidry. 1 away here in the 5th. Here's George Brett. This is not a 390 season for him, but nevertheless, I think he batted 328. Oh, no, he's only batting 290 this year. And very good season for Brett regardless, but not one of his best. 290, not one of his best. Must be tough for the rest of the league, huh? So Brett 0 for 1, walked and scored a run. 1 down here. Guidry delivers 3-5. Pop up on the infield. Randolph calls everyone else off, and once it comes down, Brett is out. So Brett down, 2 down, and here's McRae. McRae 0 for 2. He reached on an error. Guidry trying to settle down and get a 1-2-3 inning here. How about a 6-8 against the righty? Fly ball lofted to center. Henderson has plenty of room and the beat, and he makes the play. A 1-2-3 for Guidry just when he needed it. Give him the lead, and he says, I will get back into form, folks. You got to keep these older guys engaged. So the Yanks coming up in the bottom of the fifth with a 3-run lead, and it'll be Renicky, Cotto, and Berra. Gary Renicky, 2 for 2 today. A grand slam homer back in the first and a single in the third. Jackson ready to pitch. 2-7 from the lefty, a base on balls. So Rich Garcia behind the plate being stingy today, and Renicky's reached all 3 times. You got to check the holds here. Jackson and Sundberg are a -1 combined, so that'll slightly improve the Yankees' chances of stealing to a -3, -5. Still not good enough to try with Renicky. He'd just be at 10 if he got a good lead. Henry Cotto is up. Cotto, a speedster, makes double plays difficult. He's 0 for 2 so far today. A fly out and a ground out. Here's Black with a 3-9. And that's a fly ball to right. Going to be no problem for the right fielder Motley. And Cotto is retired. Renicky retreats to first. Dale Berra to the plate. Berra hits lefties a lot better than he hits righties. The Yankee shortstop is 2 for 2 today. A single, a double, and a run scored. Jackson delivers. That is a 6-4 against the right-hander. Ground ball to short. Pardon me. Salazar, a 3E16. Renicky's being held right-hander. Yep, 3E16. How about a 7-10 to Salazar? That's going to be an F. Oh, nope. Wrong side. 7, that's going to be a G3. G3, nothing doing. Oh, pardon me. And the runner will advance. So Salazar scoops it and fires, retires Berra, but Renicky makes it safely to second with 2 outs. So Gary's in scoring position for Weiniger. Butch is 0 for 1 with a run on a walk the last time up. Here's Jackson. The delivery, it's a 5-8. Weiniger batting right. That strikes him out. So Jackson gets out of the inning. 1 left, no runs. And we'll head to the 6th. The Yanks lead by 3, 8-5. Guidry comes back out. He's still got some left in the tank, and it's White, Balboni, and Motley. Frank White 1 for 2 with a couple driven in. Guidry, the pitch. It's a 3-3 against the left-hander. Ground ball to shortstop. Meacham is there. Over to Mattingly, and White is retired. It's going to be Balboni. Solo homer his last time up, 1 for 2 on the day. How about a 4-7? Lines this one right back up the middle. Guidry has to duck, and it's a base hit for Balboni. Henderson fields it and gets it back in, and Steve is on with a single. Pretty sure Steve's not going anywhere. Nope. They don't even hold him, folks. He's got no steal success rating at all. And that brings up Motley, who followed Balboni's homer with one of his own back in the 4th. Another one would make this game awfully close, wouldn't it? Motley 1 for 2. Waits for the pitch from Guidry. 6-11. That's a ballpark home run chance. Motley, a right-hander, it's going to be a 1-11 if he's got the power, and he does. And that's gone. Motley with his 2nd homer of the day, aided by the Yankee Stadium porches. And suddenly it's a 1-run game, the Yanks clinging to an 8-7 lead. Guidry has given up 7 runs. And believe it or not, he's not tired, but he's not pitching well. He's just getting too much of the plate today. And that's Sundberg's turn. The catcher, Sundberg, 0 for 1 with a walk. 1 down here in the top of the 6th. Can't imagine Guidry's going much longer. It's a 5-4. This one's lofted out toward Henderson in center. He's a 1E7. And that's a 10-10. F2, nothing. Henderson makes the catch. Sundberg's retired for the 2nd out of the inning. And Salazar to the plate. Angel is 1 for 2. He was caught stealing as well today. Lined into a double play. Singleton was caught stealing. Not a good day for Salazar, really. Although 1 for 2 in the box score doesn't look terrible. So nobody on, 2 outs, 2 runs in. Royals trailing by 1, and it's a 5-6 to Salazar. Fly ball to right. Winfield is arranging over. No problem, and makes the play. But the balls are flying today, folks. Home runs all around, 3 for the Royals, 2 for the Yanks. And as we head to the bottom of the 6th, the Yankees cling to a 1-run lead, and Danny Jackson will take the mound again. He will face the bottom of the order, number 9 hitter, I should say, Meacham, followed by Henderson and Randall. So Meacham comes to the plate 0 for 1 with a sac hit his last time up. And the pitch from Jackson to Meacham batting right, a 4-9. Single up the middle, base hit for Bobby Meacham. So Meacham's on. He can move a little, they'll hold him. And that brings up Henderson. Danny Jackson to the righty Henderson. 6-6 against the right-hander. Double 1 to 5 or a single. That's a base hit for Henderson. He goes the opposite way. Meacham is round second. He'll make it into third, and Henderson is safe at first with a base hit. Now, this is the time Ricky will probably try to get in a scoring position. See if he can get a good lead, 2-7. That's a 7. He steals an awful lot of bases. He's a 19 minus 3, 1-16. The pitch, Sundberg fires, not in time. Henderson in under the tag for his first stolen base of the season. Ricky, always a threat to steal 100, if you can believe that. So second and third, nobody out. The way balls are flying out of this park, well, who knows what's going to happen. The corners are in. And here's Willie Randolph. They'll guard against the bunt with those corners. Willie, a very good bat handler. And Jackson delivers. How about a 4-3 to the right-hander? Grounded to first, Balboni is a 4-E22, not holding anybody. They're going to need to roll a high number on this 20 here if they want to prevent any more runs from scoring. That's going to help. 18-13 to Balboni. 18's a G1. And a E22, actually it'd be a 2, right? Actually it'd be a 5 because he's holding them, excuse me. Yep. So it's going to be a G2 and a 13 on a 22. So G2 with the infield in and runners on second and third. Lead runner. Yeah. Yep. So Balboni scoops it, fires home, and he's going to get Meacham on the 3-2. Sundberg applies the tag. Henderson gets over to third, and Randolph reaches on the fielder's choice. So Willie's on first. Henderson's on third. They're going to hold them both. Because Ricky can steal home, can't he? Yeah. It's not a great chance, but he can do it. And they'll be playing for the double play here. Randolph's going to try to get a lead. He needs a 5, and he gets it, 19 minus 3. He's a 1-16 to steal second and get in a scoring position. Never mind, Sundberg guns him down. Henderson had thoughts, but stays where he is, especially with Mattingly coming up. Well, now instead of 2 men on and 1 out, it's 1 man on, Henderson at third, and Mattingly to the plate with 2 outs. Donnie Baseball with a 3-run homers last time up, a single in the first. He's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 3 driven in. So Mattingly waits for the pitch from Jackson. Lefty on lefty action. Reroll that one, and it's a 4-10. A fly ball out towards center. Wilson, a pretty good fielder. 2-E3 should be okay. How about an 18-9? That's going to be an F3. And the 9 means nothing. So Wilson retires Mattingly. The inning is over and no runs scored. 1 left. A couple of base running miscues by the Yankees. And Jackson now is into his fatigue, right? Yep. He's one into his fatigue possibility. Well, Guidry comes out for the 7th. The narrowest of leads, a 1-run lead. Not sure about that from Piniella, but he's a loyalist and played with Guidry on World Championship teams. So he might be giving Ron the benefit of the doubt here, despite having given up 7 runs thus far. It'll be the top of the order for Kansas City, Lonnie Smith, followed by Wilson and Brett. Smith reached twice, a walk and a hit by pitch, stole a base and scored a run. 0 for 1 officially. Guidry deals. It's a 6-11. Uh-oh, ballpark homer again. Smith have the power? He does not. It's going to be a ballpark homer chance. That would be a single. Lefty 1 to 14. It's a base hit for Smith. Leadoff single for Lonnie. And he's going to try to get a lead because he's fast. That's an 8. No lead for Lonnie Smith. They're holding him tight. And Wilson to the plate. Willie's 1 for 3, scored a run and struck out today. Guidry delivers a 1-7. A long hook here from Pinella. That's a ground ball down to short. Meacham is there. He scoops it, flips to Randolph at second, who rifles it on the turn to Mattingly at first. The 6-4-3 double play, just what Ron Guidry and Lou Pinella ordered. And there's 2 outs now with nobody on for George Brett. Royals trailing by 1 in the 7th. Brett 0 for 2, we're running on a walk. How about a 5-9 lefty? Strikes him out. Guidry finds a little extra in the tank there. Brett is retired, and no runs, nobody left for Kansas City in the 7th. Jackson's going to come out and pitch the 8th. Or, pardon me, the bottom of the 7th. He will face Winfield, Renicky, and Cotto. Going to leave him in there, huh? Yeah, he pitches pretty well against righties, actually. So Winfield 0 for 2, we're running a walk today. How about a 3-6 against the left-hander? Homer 1 to 17, triple 18 to 20. This one is high and deep to left center field. Smith's going back. He's on the track. Forget it. Dave Winfield tags Danny Jackson, the 3rd Yankee homer of the day. This one a solo shot and gives the Yankees a little bit of breathing room. They now lead 9 to 7. And the bullpen's going for Kansas City as Jackson starting to show his fatigue here on opening day. So Renicky comes up. He's perfect on the day. Walked, singled, and homered. A big grand slam back in the 1st that gave the Yankees their first lead. Renicky waits. He's seeing the ball well against the lefties. And here's Jackson, a 6-8 right-hander on the ground to short. No problem there for Salazar. He guns it to Balboni, and Renicky is finally retired today. Henry Cotto coming to bat. Cotto hits lefties reasonably well. Despite that, he's 0 for 3 on the day. 2 flyouts and a groundout. Henry waits for the pitch from Jackson. The windup, it's a 3-8. Grounded to Salazar again, and he gets Cotto just in the nick of time. 2 down. Here's Berra. Berra 2 for 3. Scored a run and doubled. The pitch from Jackson, a 4-3 against the right-hander. Grounded to Balboni at first, a 4-E-22. Feels like a lot of X chances today. How about a 13-7? That's going to be a G3. E1. Balboni boots it. And Berra is on. Pardon me, E3. There we go. So Balboni commits the error. With 2 outs here, and Berra reaches safely for the 3rd time today. That brings up Weiniger. He's 0 for 2, walked and scored a run, also struck out his last time up. The pitch from Jackson, a 5-12 against the right-handed Weiniger. Tapper back to Jackson. He's a 4E16. Let's see what this looks like on the super advanced fielding chart. How about a 1911 on a 4E16? Is that what I said? I don't feel good about this one, folks. G1. 11 on E16 is not an error, so Jackson makes the play, fires it to Balboni, or flips it to Balboni, really. And Weiniger's retired, the final out of the inning. But the Yanks pick up a run on the Winfield homer. Lead 9 to 7 as we head to the 8th. Guidry's coming out, if you can believe that. He'll face McRae, White, and Balboni. Yankees bullpen is active. McRae today, 0 for 3, reached on an error earlier. Guidry with a 6-6 against the right-hander. Triple 1 to 2, single 3 to 20. That could be trouble. Cotto cuts it off, and McRae's on with a base hit. His first of the year, 1 for 4 now. Hal, not a base stealer, but Frank White can hit some homers, so look out, Mr. Ron Guidry. Guidry delivers to White. How about a 5-12 against the right-hander? Fly ball to left. Cotto is there and makes the play. McRae retreats to first. 1 away. Balboni up now. Guidry looks in. Love a double play here. That's going to be a 4-10 against the right-hander. Catcher's card X. Weiniger will be tested. He's a 4E3. How about an 8-9? That's going to be a PP. And the 9 on a 3 is nothing. So PP is what? Possible pass ball. Or a pop out. So pass ball on Weiniger would be a 1 to 4. Nope, an 18. So it's going to be a pop out. Weiniger makes the play. Balboni retired. A big out there. But Darryl Motley's coming up, and Motley has had Guidry's number today, a couple of homers. And Piniella, thinking about it, he goes out and talks to Guidry. They're talking it over. Guidry shaking his head emphatically, and Piniella nods, pats him on the butt, and takes the slow walk back to the dugout as Guidry walks around the mound a little. So McRae on first. Motley coming to bat. He represents the tying run. The Royals trail by 2 here in the top of the 8th, 9-7 Yankee lead. Motley with 2 homers today, 3 RBIs, 2 for 3 officially. He waits from the right side. Guidry from the stretch. We've got a spinner, folks. How about a 1-8? Line drive, hit hard, but right at Berra. He doesn't have to move. He makes the play, so Motley hits it hard again. This one a little lower, and he is out for the 3rd out of the inning. Guidry through 8. He's given up 7, but he stands to win it if the score stays where it is. Jackson comes out. He's got one more inning in him if they can get him through. It'll be Meacham, Henderson, and Randolph. He's at least going to face Meacham. We'll see where they go from there. So Meacham, the switch hitter batting right. He's 1 for 2 today, a sack hit earlier. How about a 1-7? Grounded to short. Salazar makes the play to Balboni. Meacham retired. Well, Jackson going to stay in there. And here's Ricky. He's 1 for 3. Walked, scored a run, and stole a base today. How about a 3-6? That's a base on balls. That's not the guy you want to walk, but they just did. The Kansas City bullpen is throwing hard. Henderson will try to get a lead, of course, 2-7. 7 it is. He'll be a 19-3, 1-16 to steal. And Sundberg catches Henderson. What a throw from Sundberg. It was almost a pitch out, actually. Randolph waved at it for strike 1, and Sundberg fired down just in time to retire Henderson. 2 down now, and here's Randolph. Willie is 1 for 3. A run scored, a sac fly, an RBI, and a caught stealing. So Sundberg allowed 1 steal, but caught 2 guys. 2 of the fastest guys on the planet in Henderson and Randolph. 2-10 against the lefty. Double 1-12 single. They can't cut that one off, and Willie will be in with a stand-up double by the time the throw comes in. So Jackson may be getting tired, but he'll stay in for one more batter to face the lefty Mattingly. It really doesn't matter what kind of pitcher's out there against Donnie. He hits them both well. So Randolph in scoring position, Mattingly up. He's 2 for 4. A homer and 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored today. How about a 4-9 against the left-hander? That's a single for Mattingly. Lines at the center. No asterisks for you Strat heads. Randolph's around third. He's going to be waved home. It's going to be a 19. He was not being held at second, so a 20, which can't be, so it's still 19. And the center fielder's arm is plus. He's 1-19 to score. They don't even try to get him. They hold Mattingly. The throw comes into second. And Donnie's got an RBI, his fourth of the day, his third hit. And that's going to be all for Jackson, as the Yankees now lead 10-7. Jackson was a gamer, kept the team in the game, but he's definitely tired. And with Winfield coming up and a 3-run lead, we're going to see Mark Huisman for the Royals. Huisman. Huisman is a 4E44, yikes. And he's got a 4 fatigue. So another long reliever, you know he's going to try to close this one out. They're trailing, so they don't want to run their good relievers out there. Huisman not bad. But with Mattingly on first, being held, not at all. Donnie not even thinking about stolen bases. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th, and it's Winfield. He's 1 for 3. Homered, scored twice, walked, and drove in a run himself, in fact. Dave waits for the pitch from Huisman. It's going to be a 6-6 against the right-hander. Winfield swings and misses. A third out of the inning. But Mattingly's RBI adds an insurance run for New York, and it's 10-7. Is that going to be enough for Pinella to send Guidry out against the bottom of the order, Sundberg, Salazar, and Smith? It's not. Actually, is it? Let's see who's on the bench. How many lefties are on the bench? You've got Orta, Kingery, Law, yeah, Seitzer. So 4 of the 6 Kansas City hitters left on the bench are lefties. And that's going to factor into Ron Guidry staying in the game for the 9th. He's given up 7 runs, but he's got a 3-run lead. And he's going to try to go the distance because Kansas City's bench is stocked with left-handers. Well, actually, now that I think about it, the Yankees closer's a left-hander, isn't he? He is indeed. So Pinella second-guesses himself and decides that Guidry's day is indeed done. Instead, it'll be the left-hander Dave Righetti coming on to try to close it out. He's going to be eligible for a save here with a 3-run lead. And similar result, those lefties are going to mostly stay on the bench. Sundberg has some power. He's 0 for 2 with a walk today, but he hits lefties reasonably well. At least compared to how he hits righties. Pardon me. And Righetti's done with his warm-up tosses. Let's enter him in the game. Guidry goes 8. He gives up 1, 2. His control hurt him today. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits in 8 innings. That's not as bad as I thought it was. How many homers? 1, 2, 3 home runs. 7 runs. Are they all earned? Walk, a single, a walk. Error for the first out. Advanced guys. That scored 2. Would have scored at least 1. So 2 unearned there. Those are earned and those are earned. So actually 5 earned runs for Guidry in 8 innings. Walk and a strikeout. We've got 1, 2, 3, 3 and 1. 3 and 2. 3 walks and 2 Ks for Guidry. He was not on his best game, but he stands to win it if Righetti can hold it down. So here's Sundberg, 0 for 2 with a walk so far today. How about a 5-4? Against the righty, ground ball third base X. It's Berra. He's a 4E25. And that is an 8-9. That's a G3. 9 out of 25. Nothing doing. So Barrow fields it, fires to Mattingly, and Sundberg is retired. One away, and that'll bring up Salazar. Salazar also hits lefties reasonably well. He's 1 for 3 today. Righetti set. 1-6. Grounded back to Righetti. He fields it and tosses to Mattingly to the second out of the inning. So the Royals down to their final out, and it's Lonnie Smith. Smith has reached 3 times today, a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. He stole a base and scored a run. 1 for 2 officially. So Smith, the final hope for the Royals. He needs to get on base if this game will continue. How about a 2-8? Pops it up on the infield. It's towards second base. Meacham is there. He waves everyone off and makes the catch. A high pop-up, but Meacham retires. Lonnie Smith for the third out of the inning. And when it's all said and done, folks, in a wild, high-scoring game with a lot of hard-hit balls, the Yankees come out on top by a score of 10-7. Guidry's going to get the win. His first, obviously. Dave Righetti with the save. An inning pitched and nothing doing. Meanwhile, Bud Black will Black take the loss? I'm not even sure. Got to figure that one out. Yes, he will, because he gave up 8 runs to Bud Black. Let's do some calculations here. The Yankee victory on opening day. Pinella's happy. The MVP of the game going to be Don Mattingly. 3 big hits and 5 trips to the plate. 3 for 5, officially a home run and 4 RBIs. Donnie scored 2. All right, so let's see Jackson's line here. He went 0.1, 1, 2, 3. He went 3.2 innings. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, 1 homer. 2 runs, both earned. How many walks and Ks? 1 and 1. 2 walks and 1 strikeout. And then it was Wiesman who came on. He pitched to just 1 batter and got the strikeout. So in the end, the Royals gave up 12 hits? 12 hits for the Yanks. Guidry gave up 9, Righetti none, so 9 hits for the Royals. And let's see the errors. How about an E6? Do we record that for Meacham? Yep. The only error by the Yanks was Meacham's. And the Royals committed the E3. That's all I've got. Balbone's error. So the final, Kansas City 7-9-1, New York 10-12-1. Black the loss, Guidry the win, Righetti the save. Homers for Kansas City. Balboni had his first, and Motley hit 2, his first and second of the season. Homers for the Yanks, it was Mattingly with his first. Winfield and Renicky also with their first. And that's where we stand here at Yankee Stadium on opening day. The most valuable player of this opening day game, Donald Arthur Mattingly, number 23. And the Yankees are off to a good start, beating the defending world champion Kansas City Royals here on April 8th, 1986 by the score of 10-7. In real life, the Yankees also won this game. It was a little better pitched, score of 4-2. So that is where we'll leave you tonight, folks. Should we just play another one? It's 8:30. We could just keep rolling into the second game here. But let me end it and restart the live broadcast to just differentiate the games, make them bearable for people to watch when they rewatch the videos on YouTube. We'll come back in a minute or 5 to the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, where the Minnesota Twins will visit the Oakland Athletics for our 13th game of 1986. Only 2,250 something to go. All right. Give me a few, folks. I'll be back. We'll play one more. Where's the pause button? It just flipped over.